What's up guys, it's Victoria from Under Victoria's Spell, and I'm so excited about today's video because I'm going to be talking about how to get out of a reading slump, because I've recently been in one and that cannot be happening because I love to read. I have a reading goal I want to get to, so I'm like, I gotta get myself out of this slump. So I'm going to talk about some tips and tricks to get you out. Okay, so I have 5 tips and tricks. So we're gonna go with number 1. And of course, this is like a generic answer, but it really does work. And tip number 1 is to reread some old favorites. And for me, that was the Salacious Players Club, books 3 and 1. I read these recently and I did it in a different form. Instead of physically reading them, I went ahead and got Audible so that I could re-listen to these and kind of just do other things. And it was just so amazing to be back in the Salacious world. There's just something about reading a book that you absolutely love, and it just makes you think about why you love that book and how much you really do enjoy reading, that even though the things you have been reading lately aren't that great, or you're just not wanting to pick up that book or listen to that book, there's just something about picking up your favorites. You're like, oh, I love this. Like, this is great. So I recently did that, and I honestly suggest doing it maybe in a different form. Like if you read it in the ebook version, pick up a physical copy. If you did the physical, do a audiobook. That way you're still getting a little bit of a different experience, but you're also still really enjoying the world that you absolutely love. So that's tip number 1. Reread some old favorites, whether that's one book, favorite scenes in those books, the whole series. Just pick up something that you absolutely loved and just feel that nostalgia while reading that book. Tip number 2 is one that I am still currently doing, and that is to clean out your TBR. That can be your physical TBR, your Goodreads TBR, your Kindle, whatever TBR you have. Go through, clean it out. Go through and look through the books that you're like, I was really interested in it, but I'm not going to read it. I'm reading it for the hype. Get rid of it. Only keep books that you're like, I cannot wait to pick this up. This is something that I'm going to get to this month, this week, this year. Clean it out. You will feel so much better. I love going through my physical TBR as well as my Kindle TBR and just clearing out, because I know I'm never going to get to those books. Like, I was interested, but not that interested. So clean that out. I still need to go through my Goodreads TBR. That one is a hot mess. I need to clean it out, but I feel like after you clean it out, you can kind of look at the books that you were just so excited for, and you're like, okay, I can't wait to get to these. It's going to be so fun once I get to these. So that's definitely a way to get out of your TBR. You're just looking forward to those books and getting rid of the trash, as I call it. Not that the books are trash, but like what you're in a slumpy mood for, like get those books out of the way. And tip number 3 is to watch your favorite booktubers or TikTokers. I personally use Booktube, but you could also use TikTok for this as well. I think that is another way to really get out of your slump. Watch your favorite booktubers. What are they loving? What are they hating? What are they doing in their reading journey? And I think that is just so encouraging to watch that and just want to, be like, yeah, I want to pick up a book. That book sounds really good. It's going on my TBR, or that might get me out of my slump. Like, I'm glad I watched that. So I feel like that's a really great way to get out of your slump, and especially with TikToks, because the videos are so short, you get that like teaser of it and you're like, okay, that sounds really good. Like, I need to pick that up right now, especially if it's like spicy and angsty. I'm like, okay, that's going up on my TBR for sure. I recently watched Autumn and Erica, my booktube besties. I caught up on all their videos here over the weekend, and I'm so glad that I did, because just hearing them talk about their reading journey and kind of what's going on in their life, it just really like encouraged me to want to pick up some books again and just kind of get back into my reading and different worlds. So I definitely suggest watching your favorite booktubers or TikTokers. And tip number 4 is actually something that I did today and it was so fun, and that is go to a bookstore. Whatever type of bookstore you want to go to, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, your used bookstore, online shopping bookstore. It was just so fun being in that environment of looking at all these books with all these stories in it and just seeing other people looking at books. There's just something that is, for me, so spiritual about reading. It just made me want to be there forever. Like, that's my happy place, is in a bookstore and just looking at all the books that I already love, seeing them on the shelves, or books I really want to get to, or ones I've yet to discover and knowing that they're in the store somewhere. I love going to bookstores. I did it today. It definitely made me just want to run home and snuggle up with a good book. So yes, go to the bookstore, get you a coffee, a tea, whatever makes you happy, and just go browse. Go on a date with yourself or your significant other, friends, family. That is a perfect way to get out of a reading slump. And tip number 5, my final tip, is to set up a cute book date for yourself. And what this means is get yourself like in the mood to read a book. That can be in so many different shapes and forms. Like, run yourself a bath, light candles, get yourself a glass of wine or water or tea or coffee, and go take a bath and start a new book. Or pick up a book you have been reading but it's making you feel slumpy. Try it again. Give it another try. Or get yourself comfy on the couch with some music, some rain, get a cozy blanket, get snuggled in. Set up your perfect experience of how you like to read. Or put your headphones in, go for a walk, go to the gym. Give yourself that date set up for a book. My perfect way is to get myself a nice drink, sit on the couch with my blanket, snuggle up, start some lo-fi or some jazz, and just dive into a book. That's my perfect book date. Or a bubble bath isn't bad. But just set that up, set that intention of you're not going to let this book slump get you, and I promise you it will definitely help. And those are the 5 tips and tricks that I have for getting out of a reading slump. It is what's helped me. You should definitely give one a try, or let me know a tip or trick that helps you get out of a reading slump so I can do a part 2 to this. I would love to know. But I hope this helped, guys, and I had a lot of fun filming this video and just talking about books. Now I'm ready to hop out of this chair and go read a book. That's my plans for the rest of the evening. So I hope you all have a fabulous day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.